What's good, what's godly, and what is great Tri-City Tribe? Good morning, man. Yo, this weather lately has been on point. I mean, on point. Right now, the breeze blowing. Look at the trees. They talking to me. Trees blowing. It's about 60 degrees right now. I feel mad good. I'm a big boy. I don't need no jacket, you know what I'm saying? Got plenty of insulation, you feel me? Y'all know what time it is. Firearm Friday, baby. Hope everybody's been having a great week. Y'all continue to stay safe, man. Continue to support the channel. Let's see what they got going on this side, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's get this show going. Good morning, my man.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year. We making our way into New Year. Excited for what's to come next year?
Yeah, I'm ready to move into 2024. Let's
I know
put it
that's
that way.
right. I know that's right. I'm right there with you, brother. So it looks like you got some cleaning supplies here, huh?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little basic maintenance on your firearms today.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I know we got some new people on the channel that want to get into firearms, and I feel like knowing how to clean your gun is very important if you're going to own some. So, all right, Chris, the floor is yours, my brother.
So we're going to start with an AR, probably the most popular firearm on the market right now, modern sporting rifle. You don't need to spend $1 million on cleaning kits. The most important thing you need is any soft cotton rag you got. I have a fiber towel here. At home, I have a brown t-shirt. All right. A good cleaning solution oil, there's 100 million of them out there. I prefer Cleanse oil. It does a great job. One of my favorites is the modern snake or boar rope or whatever you want to call it. What's nice about them is it has brushes built in, so it scrubs the hard stuff. And then it's got a nice soft thing to pull all that dirt and debris out of the barrel when you're done. A lot of people, obviously, we sell these cool little weapons toothbrushes. You don't have to spend money on that. When you go to the dentist, he gives you that free one. You can use that. It works great. And then Q-tips, absolutely my favorite to get in all the small nooks and crannies that my big fat fingers can't get into. This one we do sell is for bigger areas, but it does work good to get in there and kind of wipe stuff out. So, real quick, first thing you want to do is take out the magazine if there's one in it. And then clear your weapon. So all you gotta do is pull that back, make sure there's no rounds in the chamber at all, let it go. For an AR, there's 2 takedown pins, right here in the back and then right here in the front. I like to pull the back one first and then swing the firearm up like this. It doesn't have to come all the way apart. Then you're gonna grab your cardi handle. Drew a blank there, sorry. Pull that back, grab your bolt, pull it out the back end, set it off to the side. Charging handle comes all the way back till it stops, and then it drops straight down to pull out of the firearm. Now I go ahead and take down my front takedown pin. So now I have 2 pieces. The upper, you don't have to touch any more than that until you get ready to clean it. The lower, there's only one more thing you gotta do. You gotta pull the buffer out. Push down on the buffer tube, or the buffer itself, and push in the little locking detent spring, and then it pulls right out, just like that. That's as far as you absolutely have to take down the gun. Your bolt, a little more complicated. You're gonna take the firing pin retaining pin out, just get a small fingernail or a piece of, paper clip, something like that. Get a hold of it, pull that straight out, set it off to the side. Once that's done, just hit it on the table, and your firing pin comes right out. Obviously, I got a good gun here. We're gonna clean today. Then you gotta push your bolt all the way in, and your bolt cam pin is right here. You gotta turn it 90 degrees, and pull that straight up and out. Then you can pull the bolt straight out, set your bolt carrier down, set your bolt down. You got everything apart so you can clean it. Then obviously you're gonna hit it with a little solution. Sometimes a nice towel is nice so you don't ruin your wife's table. Squirt everything, let it sit for a few minutes, and then you can start wiping it. You get in the tight spots up in the chamber and stuff, your fingers aren't gonna fit, that's where the Q-tips come in. This little Q-tip gets really good right up in that chamber, and you just scrub it out, and you come in from 2 angles there. Your toothbrush is good to get all your rails and all that stuff, and then your towel or your rag, wipe it all out, big wipe. Then you want to do the barrel. When you go to the barrel, I prefer to go the same direction as the bullet. So So you'll take your snake, just drop it down in there. It'll come out the other end. Once you get it here, get a good grip and just pull it straight through. If it's not too bad, 2 pulls should do it. If you have a brand new rope, I recommend throw a couple drops of oil on the front here so it kind of lubricates and breaks, get that solution in there. Your brushes are about 8 inches behind. It'll break everything up, and then you got all this rope to pull out all the debris at the end. So once you run it through there twice, it'll be good to go. After you clean probably about 10, 15 times, you won't even have to add oil to this anymore. It'll be nice and lubricated for you. Once you use that about 100 times, go ahead and toss it and get a new one. What'll happen over time is the fibers will break down and it'll break apart in your barrel, and then you got it stuck, and then you got a whole another problem on your hands. So they're not good forever, but they're good for a good long time. Your lower, Q-tips are your best friend to get down and around the trigger and stuff. Just be sure you don't leave a bunch of debris down in there from the Q-tip. So if the fibers get off, come off, make sure you clean those out. Bolt carrier, Q-tips and a rag are your best friend. Your bolt itself, Q-tips, and sometimes a scraper tool. If you get a good carbon buildup right here, a scraper tool, you will not hurt this. It's good to scrape that carbon off and then wipe it clean. If you use the solution correctly and you clean right after you fire and you keep the gun well lubricated, you won't have to scrape too hard. Firing pin, this one's pretty nasty. Wrap the rag around and pull, and it came clean in one swipe. So those are pretty easy. Once you get all that done, simply put her back together. Again, I like to work on a stable platform, so I always put the upper end first. Sometimes to get everything lined up, it's just easier to close it. Then I'm going to take my charging handle, slide it in until I feel that notch, and push up, and then just start it. Don't push it all the way in yet. Put my bolt back together real quick. I'm going to put the bolt in the carrier first. And your cam pin will only go in one side of that hole. So if you get the wrong side the first time, simply rotate 180 degrees and it should fall in the next time. You do have to fiddle with it to get everything lined up right sometimes. Don't stress about it. Do not force it. It will go when you got everything lined up. There we go. Then I pull my bolt out, rotate that cam pin 90 degrees again, because the hole in the cam pin is for the firing pin. I wrap my hand around all the openings so you can't miss, and then just drop my firing pin in, and then make sure it falls all the way down. Grab your firing pin retaining pin. This is the finesse part of the whole project. Do not force this pin. If you hammer that pin in, it'll mushroom and you'll never get it in. So I just kind of wiggle into a circle until it falls in the hole, and then just push it in. Line up your gas block on top, up into the charging handle, and slide forward. When it all lines up, you saw how easy that goes in. Take your buffer and buffer spring, slide that down into the buffer tube. When you get down there, there's 3 flat spots on your buffer. It's really easy if you line up a flat spot with that retainer. Push past it and let go, it'll stay in there. Close it, secure your rear pin. Now we're gonna do a function check. To me, the easiest way, you already know it's clear, you just put it back together, there's no bullets in there. You can obviously check. You're gonna wanna make sure the weapon's on fire. And then you're going to squeeze the trigger and hold it. You hear the click. Charge the handle. Now, release your trigger slowly, you'll hear another click. Boom. 3rd click means everything works right. Boom, there's 3 clicks. Firearm is ready to go to the range. Bro, those are gun cleaning Q-tips. Get them out of your dang ear.
My bad. You're right. All right, man. Sorry about that. Got a little distracted. What's going on, Chris?
Obviously, I had a couple leftover Q-tips from cleaning the AR, and my boy's going to go there and start scrubbing his body with them. All right. Real quick, today we're going to cover pistols. There's 2 major kind of takedown systems, so I pull them both out. There's more than that, but these are the most popular. So the most important part, read your owner's manual, learn how to take down the gun. There's one step to make it come apart. You want to make sure you know that with your gun. First, I'll cover a Glock. Glock, Walther, Canic, they all kind of come apart the same way. So the first thing you want to do is drop your magazine, obviously, and then clear the weapon. Make sure there's nothing in it. Once I know there's nothing in there on the Glock, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. And I'm just going to release my fingers, rotate them up so I got a good grip like this. And then I squeeze my hand together, and you see it pulls it back that little 1/8 of an inch. That's all you need. And there's a pull down pin on both sides. You're gonna grab both sides at once, pull it straight down, release your right hand, slide it forward. Boom. Set your receiver down to the side. Your buffer spring here, you're gonna push it towards the front of the gun and up. Comes out real easy. Set that to the side. With your barrel, you're gonna wanna lift up a hair, slide it forward, and lift it up all the way and slide it back out so it comes out. That's all 4 pieces to a Glock. Your SIGs, your Springfields, your Smith & Wessons, they all come down a little bit differently. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna first drop my magazine, and I'm gonna clear my weapon. Once that's done, I'm gonna lock the slide to the rear. So grab your slide catch, lock it to the rear like that. Then you got your takedown pin, it's gonna rotate. Some of them rotate up, some rotate down, it just depends on your firearm. Once you got it down like this, now I'm gonna grab a hold of my slide, release it, and run it forward slowly. It comes right apart. Set my receiver down, grab my buffer spring, same thing, push it towards the front and up. Then grab my barrel, same way. Lift it up slightly, slide it forward, pull it all the way back out. Notice once you get the takedown pin, everything else is pretty much the same inside. All right, and just like we did with the AR, your Q-tips, your toothbrushes, and your rag, they're your friends. What I do when I get it laid out like this, especially if I go to the range with more than one pistol, I'll pull out my solution, I'll get everything wet, let it sit for a few minutes, and then I start wiping. If you let it sit, the solution's in there, kind of break down everything you're trying to clean up. And then Q-tips are your friend to get all the nice little nooks and crannies. Big rag for all the big spaces. Toothbrush for anything that's a little rough in there, or debris that you just can't get to, break it up. Q-tips definitely your friend inside the receiver. And then your barrel, really simple, just like an AR. I'm gonna run it through the same way the bullets travel. Pull that through, pull it all the way through. A couple turns with that, it'll do good. Pistol barrels are really short, so you can get in there with a Q-tip some if you need to also. But I've never had the rope not be enough. Once everything's cleaned up, simply reverse order. Notice when I take it apart, I go from right to left to take it apart. So when I put it back together, I go from left to right. My upper receiver is already set up. Put my barrel in there, slide it forward, let it drop, slide all the way back. Grab my spring, push that in, get up here close. On all barrels, there's a little notch cut out. You can see it, that looks just like the back of the spring. So you want to just push that spring into there. Once it's sitting in place, make sure it's centered, you're good to go. Flip your receiver over and your upper receiver and just slide them together. Really simple. On a Glock, Walther, Canic, once you get here, go all the way back, let go, it's locked. It automatically locks back. Just like on the AR, I'm gonna do a functions check. Squeeze the trigger and hold, charge it, release slowly, you'll hear a click, and then squeeze it again. I get 3 clicks, I know it's good. SIG, very similar. Get your barrel in first, lock it. Some of the SIGs, if you notice, it's not quite round. So you wanna make sure the skinniest part is on the left and right side. Otherwise, you'll have problems getting everything back in there. And then obviously make sure it's centered. This one's actually got a flat spot on the bottom, so that is the bottom. Once you get it all centered up, do it just like you did the Glock, just slide them together. Now on these, with the rotating takedown pin, you're going to get on your slide lock. When you lock it all the way back, lock it to the rear, and then you can flip your lock back. Now I can let the slide go forward and start my functions check. Squeeze and hold, charge, release, and squeeze. Everything worked, gun's ready to go to the range. Got any questions? Come see us at Second Amendment Armory.
Good morning, gentlemen.